Thanks for considering AP Stats. I'm the teacher for this course, Mr. Arnold. Now, there are many things that we're going to learn and experience in this class, but the main focus will be on learning strategies to collect, organize, analyze, and then draw conclusions from data. Now, I know you hear that description and you're like, I'm sold. This class sounds awesome. And it is. But I still want to take a little bit more time to tell you a bit more about the class. Many students that have taken this class have enjoyed the fact that it's not super mathy. There's a much higher emphasis on critical thinking and analysis rather than simple number crunching. In fact, in this class, you'll never be asked a question or given a task or do an activity or run a simulation that isn't grounded in context. And often the context comes from a real study or experiment that's been done, which I think is super cool. An outcome that many students have had from this class is a refined statistical lens, meaning when you're presented with data or information in an article, on social media, or on the news, you're more keenly aware of the way that data is used to mislead, confuse, or distort the truth, which ultimately makes you less susceptible to those attempts. And that's a very important skill to have, maybe more now than ever before. Lastly, in addition to learning how to write, speak, and think like a statistician, we spend time preparing for the AP exam as well, which of course has the potential to earn you college credit. I really hope that you consider taking this class, and I hope you get a chance maybe to talk to some friends that have taken it before. I think you'll really enjoy the class, and I think you'll find the information you learn from it quite rewarding. Thank you for watching, and thank you for considering AP Stats. I hope I see you soon.
Hi, this is Ms. Chin from the East High School Math Department, otherwise known as the Mathematics Department of Awesome. Good to see you all. Good to know that you're thinking about taking more math. Congratulations, you've reached the point where you can choose your next math class. Probably in the past, it's always been just take the next class, take the next class. You have reached the point where there is no next class. You get to choose. You should choose something that interests you. You should choose something that is useful to you, perhaps in your future career. You should choose something that you can get excited about, because excitement is what AP classes are about, is really challenging yourself and learning something new and interesting and useful and exciting and really pushing yourself to your full potential. And we're excited to see you do that. So let's talk about what calculus is. If you have questions, please contact me, or if you want access to this PowerPoint, please contact me at the email given there, or you can use my Google Voice phone number. Okay. What is calculus? Kind of a funny word. It's the word that's the basis for calculation. It just means a little stone that you use to count things with. The calculations that we do in this class are mostly invented by people who were trying to do calculations for physics. So things moving. And you've done calculations about things moving before. From your algebra class, you've looked at rates and realized that a change in position over a change in time gives you a rate. A change in y over a change in x gives you a slope. So that's great for straight lines, but most objects don't move in ways that are described by straight lines. So we need tools to talk about the way things move in real life. Here's a roller coaster. How is the slope changing? How quickly does the slope change? And how does that affect the experience of the roller coaster ride? So we track those changes and describe carefully what's happening, and we need new language to do that. So a lot of calculus will be about learning some new language, new vocabulary, new ways to use that vocabulary, and to be very careful in how we describe things. It's not just roller coasters and physics, it's weather patterns, it's economic forecasts, it's flattening the curve. All of that, those situations can be described very carefully and with increased understanding if you take a calculus course. We also study, as well as small moments in time, we look at how small things add up to bigger things. So here's some small rectangles adding up to the area under this graph. It's a probability graph. Here is a video of small pieces adding up to a larger object. We'll play that for a short amount of time. So we'll have some small pieces that look like little coins or discs adding up to a larger object. And my favorite object on this video is toward the end, which is a bundt cake, which is several small pieces that look like rings adding up to make the larger bundt cake, which is making me hungry now, but we'll talk about that another time. Moving on. You should think I'm going to wave goodbye to you because I'm in the way of my own slide right now. So thanks for listening, and I'll just finish up with the audio. You should take calculus if you want to learn new things, if you want to deepen your understanding of old things, in particular if you're thinking about a career in math, business, science, or engineering. I hope that you'll be a problem solver. I hope that you're up for a challenge. I hope that you can be patient with yourself as you're learning things that are completely new. I would hope that students coming in will know how to ask for help and use study groups, but that is part of my job as an AP teacher. All AP teachers teach students how to ask for help and teach students how to study, because the step up to college work requires new skills, new study skills in particular. I hope you're up for an adventure. I hope you'll ask my former students and current students about the type of adventure you'll be experiencing. Enjoy investigating your options in math.
Hi everyone, I am Miss Paschke and I teach Calc BC. So what is Calc BC? It's wild and beautiful and amazing. So what Calc BC does is we take a lot of the ideas of Calc AB and we build on them bigger and better. So Calc AB is a requirement. It is a requirement. You need those skills in order to be successful in BC, but we go play. So in Calc AB, you play a lot with things like parabolas, and you might find the slope of the tangent at some particular point. It's a positive slope here, it's a negative slope over here. You have a horizontal tangent up here at the top. You can calculate where those horizontal tangents are, figure out graphs, something you may not have done yet by the time you view this, or maybe you'll just be starting it, is you can find the area under this curve. So you can find the area of this region in here, which you might think, wait, we can't do that. It's not a rectangle. Just wait. It'll be cool. It'll be cool. Well, that is fantastic stuff. It really is. In Calc BC, we'll play with graphs like this. And we'll ask ourselves exactly the same questions. What is the slope of this graph? So here I'm going uphill and I'm coming downhill and uphill. Oh my goodness. So we've got the slope of the graph in all sorts of different places. We have horizontal tangents. For example, up here, we have vertical tangents as well on a graph like this one. We can start playing with the whole idea of vertical tangents. Lots of fun, lots of fun. We can also find the area of this. Did you ever wonder what the area of this shape was? Of course you did. Of course you wondered. We all wonder what the area of this shape is. We can even find out how long this is. We can find out the length of this curve, which just gets interesting fast. So in Calc BC, this is just one chapter that we'll play with, is working with problems like this. We take a lot of the things that you do in Calc AB and we make them bigger and better, whether we add another dimension, whether we add a different type of graphing system, whether we think about infinity in new and different ways. There are many ways to think about infinity, and we will think about them in more of the ways than you have in Calc AB. There's still more beyond it, of course, because infinity is infinite. Now, is this the right class for you? You have a choice of a bunch of different AP courses. You coming out of Calc AB, you can take Calc BC, you can take statistics, you can take 2 different computer science courses. So if you are looking at this, you're like, whoa, that sounds really cool. Then Calc BC may well be the right place for you. Fantastic. If you're like, I don't know that I would really use that. I want to go into politics. Great. If you want to go into politics, you're welcome to come to my class. However, a class like statistics may be a better choice for you. So if you're trying to figure out what your best course is, of course you're welcome in mind. But if you want to figure out what your best course is, talk to Ms. Chin, because she knows you better than I do. You can also talk to me. Shoot me an email and say, hey, Ms. Paschke, should I take your class? Here's my situation. I'd be happy to talk with you about that. We can set up a Zoom meeting. That would be just fine. So we do lots of wild things. Oh, another question I get asked. Can you take more than one AP course in the math department? Yeah, you can. In fact, a lot of my Calc BC students are also taking statistics and or a computer science class concurrently with Calc BC. Many of them are, certainly not all, but many of them are. And yes, that is absolutely possible. So, hope this made you think big thoughts, because thinking big thoughts is good for you. Have a great day. Hi. I'm Miss Paschke, and I just want to be the first one to welcome you to Calc BC. I think it's so fantastic that you've signed up for the class. It is a fantastic class. We are going to think bigger thoughts about things that you've never thought about. We are going to wonder about things that you never even wondered to wonder about. It's really, really interesting material. So what is the one thing that you can be doing right now to help ensure success next year in BC? The biggest thing that you can be doing right now is make sure that you learn your Calc AB and learn it really well. That your derivatives, your integrals, you're really comfortable with them. You know them, whether that takes flashcards or just repetition, whatever it is that takes for you. That you know your integrals and your derivatives really, really well. And not only you can recite them off, but you kind of get what's going on in the background. Of course, we'll do some review. Of course we will. But the more fluency you have with derivatives and integrals, the better off you're going to be. And the more your mind is going to be able to think about the big thoughts rather than kind of slowed down by the calculations that we're doing. If you are realizing, I'm starting to fall behind in Calc AB right now, there's time. You still have time. Get yourself caught up, whether that means during the school year, whether that means doing a little bit of extra work over the summer. Talk to Ms. Chin for extra help. Talk to me for extra help. So that is the number one thing I can tell you. The number two thing I can tell you is come on in expecting, as I said, expecting to wonder and expecting to think about things that you hadn't thought about before in ways or in dimensions that you hadn't thought about before. It's a great class. I'm glad you're going to be there.
Hi there, this is Mrs. Brown. I teach AP Computer Science A, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the course and hopefully pique your interest to get you to sign up for it. So Computer Science A is a course where we strictly code in Java. And we learn, basically all of the ins and outs of just beginning to code. This course has 10 different units, and I've listed them here for us so you get a feel for what we do learn in this class. We start from the basics, from learning how to create variables and different types of variables, integers, strings, doubles, how those variables are stored in computer memory. And then we sort of build our understanding of, how that relates to an object in Java. Unit 3, we really talk about program control and logic. So using Boolean expressions, conditional statements, if x equals 5, then we're going to run this chunk of code, right? Stuff like that. And then Unit 4, we get into, okay, how, if we want to repeat the same steps over and over, we can do something while a condition is true, or for loops. Unit 5 is where it gets really exciting because that's where we actually create our own classes. And I have a small diagram here that kind of breaks down like the different parts of classes, and we learn all about, what they're for, what do they control in the program, and ultimately, like, what does a class do for us? And honestly, this is where we get to be really creative. Unit 6, 7, and 8, we get into some data structures, arrays, array lists, 2D arrays, which allows us a lot more flexibility. Unit 9, we talk about inheritance. So how does one class inherit some methods or some data from another class that it's related to, kind of like inheritance in our families, right? And then finally, we end with recursion, which is a tricky little subject, and it's a pretty short unit. So again, we really focus on obviously just Java. I've put a little CS Awesome. So this is a resource that I use that is like a textbook, but it's all online, which has activities and different little, small problems for us to learn the skills. We have different projects, different labs that we will do throughout the course of the year. Some of the ones that I really like are there's this steganography lab where, we can conceal a secret message within a picture. I have another lab that's a picture lab, so they kind of go hand in hand, where it's like if you're somebody who wants to make their own like Instagram filter, how can we alter the pixels of an actual image to, make it darker or lighter, or flip the contrast. We do this lab called Celebrity Lab, where it's actually kind of like making our own game. And, just other opportunities in class to practice writing code and injecting our own creativity into that. So hopefully you are excited about a computer science class. I have this slide here, and basically just if you are wondering what is the difference between the two computer science classes, I can elaborate on that. But essentially, Comp Sci A is really strictly just Java and really knowing the ins and outs, whereas computer science principles is more of it's got a wider breadth of knowledge. It's more of a survey kind of class. Comp Sci A really mirrors a college level, first year course. Again, whereas principles is more of a general credit that you would get for college, so it doesn't really match up exactly with a college level course, but it does still get you credit. So that is my spiel. I hope you are excited to try out at least one of the two courses, and I'm happy to answer questions if you are interested in learning more. All right, thank you so much. Bye. Hi, I'm Miss Brown, and I teach AP Computer Science Principles. And so I just wanted to take a moment to share with you a short video which can explain, I think, better than I can about what this particular course has to offer. It's one of two AP computer science classes that we offer at East High School. And typically this is the first of two, however, they don't depend on each other. So here's the video I'm going to show. I'll see you on the other side.
It's pretty amazing when you start building something that you want, it can help change a lot of people's lives as well.
And having even a little bit of grounding in computer science can help you think about the world differently, whether that's algorithms or whether that's just creativity.
Computer science principles covers lots of topics, not just programming and coding. We cover bits and binary, we cover how the internet works, how security works, how data is collected and used and shared. And all of these things help you get a better understanding of how the world works.
Now I understand why my phone is so slow.
I thought computer science was just for really, really smart, nerds, geeks, but it's not at all. It's for everybody, and I think it's something that everybody should learn.
In the new economy, computer science isn't an optional skill, it's a basic skill.
I just think it's important moving forward in the future that everybody learn it, especially kids.
I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but once I had my friends around, I knew if they could do it, I can do it. So it's really brought my confidence up in other classes as well.
Oh, okay. If you use Snapchat and Instagram and you want to know how that works, take computer science principles. Make an app yourself. See how you can share these things with your friends.
Being able to code gives you the freedom to build anything. And that is just so empowering.
We're doing a lot of teamwork, group work, doing work on paper, not just always on the computer.
And then when I say go, we're going to exchange IP addresses without talking. And I want everybody's IP address. Hi,
guys. Some of the kids that maybe don't fit in a normal classroom, they have an opportunity to kind of try different things and different techniques and different mindsets.
It feels more like a puzzle, and you get to take your own route and find a solution.
I feel like this class is one of the only classes that challenges me. That I feel you know what, I got this. This is good.
Computer science isn't just about math or computers. If you're interested in designing things, creating things, solving problems, then this class is for you.
So hopefully that video has inspired you to think about yourself as somebody who could take computer science principles. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all next year. And that's my recruitment video. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.